Hi everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome to my Christmas series. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. For all these DIYs, I used Dollar Tree pizza pans. I used a total of 6. I took them outside, I sprayed 3 upside down and 3 right side up. And I cut whatever wood I needed. And this year, Thomas is in there again wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. So you're going to need a painted pizza pan, one of these square Dollar Tree signs, and a spare piece of wood. You can also cut that Dollar Tree sign out too from a spare piece of wood if you have it. And I'm just sanding a little bit here. And I'm going to paint both of those pieces black. Now I'm using hot wood glue, but when I read about the glue I bought, it claims it also glues down metal and glass. The link to the one I use is in the description box. Unfortunately, the last time I checked, it was sold out. But if you go to my Amazon store, I've listed another glue that's very comparable temporarily until that one comes back in stock. And if you don't have that or you can't get it, I recommend at least a high temperature glue gun or a strong industrial glue like an E6000 because you want this little guy's hat to stay on. I took a pencil and did a rough sketch of a face I was happy with. I just wanted a traditional little snowman's face. And then I go ahead and take a black painter's pen, fill in the eyes and the mouth. And then I took a permanent marker from the Dollar Tree in orange to trace the nose. I just find I stay in the lines a little bit better when I'm painting if I do a permanent marker first. I'm giving him some little pink cheeks because it's cold outside and some snow on his hat. I just want to frost him up. If you picture a snowman on a really cold, frosty day, his little velvet hat is slouched, and I wanted to try and create those little wrinkles that would be in the hat and then the frost that would happen from the cold weather. So I took a baby wipe here and I'm just wiping this part to try to recreate the little wrinkles and slouches. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope you understand what I'm saying, just to recreate that little slouchy hat. Now I start with a bow here and I glue that on the top, but I do end up, it's just not working for me. So I end up taking that off. You'll see in a minute, but I love the ticking stripe ribbon and I'm going to go ahead and glue that around the top of his hat. I decide to go with a snowflake that I got from the 99-cent only store. It's really pretty in real life. I hope you can see it on the camera. It sparkles and glits. It's a perfect snowflake. And that bow moves down to his neck. And I'm super happy with this, the way it came out. I end up taking a little bit of greenery with red berries. I put the little string back on the top of the Dollar Tree sign because the holes are already there. And then I decide to give him a little bit more personality by putting these little white marks in his eyes. And I think he came up so cute. And you're going to, of course, need a pizza pan. This free printable, and the link will be down below in my description box. I printed it up on tissue paper, cut it out, and Mod Podged it on. Now I went fast on that because you guys know how to do it, and I accidentally hit the autofocus button, so it was totally blurry, and I didn't want to torture you longer than I had to. So now I'm taking a ruler and just drawing some shiplap lines on this with pencil first, and then with a Sharpie permanent marker in the color gray. For this border, I decided to go with some sisal rope and take the Dollar Tree red and white gingham print ribbon and wrap it around. Now you're going to see what I do here. I start off with a drop of hot glue at the top, and then I use 3 of those little clips that you can also get at the Dollar Tree to clamp it down and hold it in place. And I work in sections. I wrap the sisal rope up and then I glue as I go. So I'm going to speed this up so you can see that I also move the clamps as I'm going as well, just to hold everything in place. But this comes up so pretty. I just wanted the feel of a candy cane with a little touch of farmhouse in there with the gingham print. I thought that was awesome, actually, and it came up much better than, it came out a lot better than what I thought when I envisioned it. I was like, ooh, that looks good. And again, I hope the camera picks it up. It's just a super, super cute look. And this is what we have so far. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So the next thing I'm going to do is make a messy bow. And somebody asked me if I had a video on this. And really, the most beautiful part of a messy bow is it's a very individualized piece of art. There is no rhyme or reason to it. You just cut up pieces of ribbon. You can dovetail the ends. You can cut them at an angle. You can leave them alone. You can alternate them in between each other, or just do big clumps of color or the same ribbon. Totally up to you, whatever look you're going for. I just put a bunch of ribbon together and some of that red raffia that I found at the Dollar Tree. I was so happy about that, and I'm putting some glue on it, and I'm gonna stick this baby down, and that's it. That's my messy bow. But there really is no specific way to make one. I think that's why they're called messy bows, because you can just use scraps of leftover ribbon and you can design it however you want. And when you're done, you saw how I just fluffed it out and I kept working with it till I got a shape that I'm happy with. That's it. That's a messy bow. Now those two floral pieces there, I ordered on Amazon and they were a great deal. I have the link down below in the description box. They were $7.99 for 8. So they were $1 each, just like the Dollar Tree, but they are superior. They are so thick and so beautiful and vibrant in real life. I, again, hope the camera picks it up. Highly recommend you go check that out before they sell out with the holidays. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue some more greenery in the center. I'm going to add some more little red berries in the center. I use some thicker Walmart twine to glue a hanger on the back with a little bit of masking tape over the ends to help hold it in place. But I absolutely love this. Let me know what you think. For this DIY, the pizza pan, some paper of your choice, the Dollar Tree wooden Christmas tree, some of these mariachi beads, and some words. Now, this is a printable I purchased last year and didn't use. I will leave the link down below in my description box. I think it was only like $2 though. But I am using the upside down side of the pizza pan for this DIY, and my glue stick because I definitely didn't want this paper to wrinkle. This paper was originally craft paper from Hobby Lobby I got last year. I glued it on the back of this pizza pan using a glue stick, and you do have to cover every little square inch of the pan, and then I just trimmed it with scissors because I'm going to cover the edge. Painted that tree with some white paint, and when it was dry, I applied the printable, which I printed up on tissue paper that was taped onto cardstock paper. Great way to transfer. It's pretty much invisible when you put it down. You can't see it. I love it. It's my favorite way to transfer words at the moment. And now I'm taking the mariachi beads and I'm going to glue those around the edge of this tree. I'm going to use these decorative rhinestone stickers that I got at the 99-cent only store a few years back, but you can get things like this at the Dollar Tree all day long. And I'm going to glue them just sporadically here and there on the tree just to give it a little bit of character. I noticed the word trees online have designs in ink that do this, but I thought it would be pretty to do it with some rhinestones. And then I'm just going to take some hot glue here and glue the tree down on top of the tray. And this is what we have so far. It's so cute. With this craft, I decided to do 3 rows of the sisal rope. You'll see me doing that, and I'm showing you how I work it underneath the edge of the tree there. But I'm very careful with the first row of sisal rope to go right up against the edge of that paper so you can't see the uneven edges. And now I'm putting on my final 3rd row. lastly, I'm going to hit it with some flame to take off those extra strands that are just a little too wild. And what I can't burn because it's too close to the paper, I just trim it with those clippers. Cuticle clippers are a great craft supply, you guys, a great crafting tool. If you don't have them, use an old pair. When you go buy a new pair, don't throw your old pair away. They are great for clipping off little thin, small things that you can't get to with scissors. And then I decide to go ahead and use some Dollar Tree ribbon to make bows at the top with the ribbon and the raffia. And then I add a little bit of green vine that I got at Walmart. This is my husband's favorite one. And again, I would love to know what you guys think. This is a fun one. You're going to need a pizza pan and some cellophane. And again, I bought the cellophane on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. I'll leave the link down below in the description box for the one that I used. And I'm just taking a ruler, drawing some designs on there because we're going to be making some of that little Christmas candy. And I'm taking one of the Dollar Tree permanent markers. It's a super thick, chunky one. And I'm drawing my little borders. Again, I just feel more comfortable when I have the thicker borders from a permanent marker when I paint, so I don't go outside of the lines. This does require 2 coats, so this is my second coat here, and it's still a little bit wet for my next step, but I want it to be because I'm going to go ahead and take some of the Dollar Tree spray adhesive and some of the Dollar Tree fake snow. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's perfect for this craft, but it's just enough sparkle without being actual glitter, although you could use glitter. But I just thought this almost made the candy look frosty and pretty and just added that little bit of Christmas sparkle, which is so pretty. And I'm just using the adhesive because I don't want it covered all over the place, and it's just a super easy way to get an uneven application of adhesive so you can do this type of thing. So I spray it, sprinkle it on, and I'm going to shake it off, and you'll see the end results. We just have a little bit of snow left behind. Perfect. So I set that aside to dry, and when it's dry, I take the cellophane and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces the same size and put one underneath the pan and one on top of the pan. And then I just use my hot glue gun. You can see me doing it right there on the edge to glue those together on the edges. And you won't see that when you're done, so you'll see in a minute. I fold it over just like you're hemming a skirt or a pair of trousers. You just fold it over and then glue the fold over all the way down those edges as well, and that creates a nice tight pull on the front of the candy and hides where you glued. Now I do want to say I originally planned on painting the back side of this for the candy. I think it would actually look better because it would be rounded, kind of like a candy looks in the front. And I ended up I changed my mind and did another craft, and I grabbed another one of the pans. So all I had left was this pan, but it still looks really, really good. But I just wondered if it would fill out the top a little bit better, the cellophane a little bit better, so it's not loose in the front like that if it was a bit bulky, because on the back it's really tight. So if one of you guys try it, please let me know how it works out. But I just pull it together until it's even, tie it with a bit of twine, and then I choose this ribbon, which is perfect for candy. I'm thinking Santa's Village here, Candyland. And I choose this ribbon. One's from the Dollar Tree, and the other one I ordered on Amazon. It's a ticking stripe ribbon, but it actually has a little bit of sparkle in it. Perfect for Christmas time. And I make 2 messy bows, and then I'm just going to fluff them out and tie them on the ends. So for those of you that keep up with my channel, you'll know I was just at the Dollar Tree, and of course I forgot the white nautical rope. I thought I had tons of it, so I have to go back to the Dollar Tree, which is fun. But I end up using this brown nautical rope here temporarily just until I have a chance to get the white one, because I actually think the white one looks like a sash that Santa would tie his sack with, and it just kind of goes better with this whole candy theme and Santa's Village. So I'm going to change it out later, but I think it came up really, really cute. I absolutely love this. Super cute for a front door hanger. You could make tons of these and put them outside because they're weatherproof. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, you'll never guess what we need. And this is found in the Halloween section at the Dollar Tree. If you go now, you'll probably still find one. And this is a free printable. I Googled Vintage Angel from the clip art, Microsoft Clip Art, and I will leave the link down below in my description box. Now I'm using a green paint here, and I'm just going to paint it on regular, and then I take a dryer brush when it's a little bit dry, and I kind of purposely try and scratch it off because obviously Vintage Angel, I want the whole thing to look vintage. I'm using this water-based stain, which I've spoken about. It's odorless. I love this stuff. The link is down below my description box again, and you just kind of brush it on, and it gives a nice faux wood look, which I just thought was so pretty with the green. I wanted to do something different too. I just thought the green would be a really nice change for the pizza pan crafts. So I did the cardstock again, tissue paper again, love it, love it, love it, glue stick again, and I glued half of her down first and then the other half afterwards. I'm finding that's a really great method when you're working with the tissue paper, just to work with half at a time and you don't, tear it. You just have a chance to kind of work the wrinkles out. I chose an angel because they're just so universal, and I thought it would be fun to do something different. So I grabbed these pens on my last haul. They're furniture, little markers that kind of fix up furniture. I've actually used this on real wood before on furniture, and they work wonderful if you have a match. And I'm using the dark walnut color, and I'm showing you how it just bleeds into the wood. It gave it such a cool effect. So I had a lot of fun. I kept doing that because I just thought that was so neat looking. And then I take my little craft knife again from the Dollar Tree, and I cut the paper out of those grooves there because I want those to show. And we're going to go ahead and glue this down in the center of the pan. You can follow me on both Instagram and Pinterest. Now I'm taking the nautical rope and gluing it on the inside of this pan. This was all premeditated, you guys. I wanted like a wooden frame and nautical rope on the inside. We're keeping it vintage looking here. That kind of goes again with, farmhouse is vintage. We do a lot of distressing and making things look old. So I just thought it would be fun to do kind of an old vintage, craft with a pizza pan. So I'm taking the ticking striped ribbon and I'm going to glue it down, and the ends there, you'll see what I do. I'm going to tack them down so that they look like they're flowing on the outer edges of the pan on either side. Then I just add a little bit of the pine that I ordered from Amazon. That's how thick it is. I cut one off right there and put it down in the middle. And I made another messy bow with just a variety of the green ribbon, the ticking stripe ribbon, the raffia, and some of the lace this time. And then that holly right there really is vintage. That belonged to my mother-in-law, and that came from the 1950s. And I thought that would be so awesome to put it on the pan. And I'm showing you again how neat that pen is. How I go back, so I thought it needed a little more, but looking back, you can even put some of the Spanish moss on top. I chose to put it on the bottom, but I think, I didn't want to go crazy with it, but I think it would also look pretty, just a very, very thin row on top of this as well. But when it was all done, it was absolutely gorgeous. for this craft pizza pan. And the printable coming up here, I designed this, and there will be a link down below in my description box. And I'm using the Dollar Tree chalk paint. This is my first experience with it. I tried to film the bottle, but I put it up so fast it blurred. And I found it to be really thick and gummy. So the second coat, and it does require 2 coats, I just used acrylic paint and it worked fine. Now I'm sure the chalk paint is good quality, but I just didn't need it to be that good a quality for the craft that I was doing, and it took a long time to dry. So just, I used acrylic and it worked fine. So I'm taking some chalk, and you saw what I did. I just scribbled on the back of the letters there so I could transfer them onto this pan. And now I'm taking my chalk pen, and we're going to go ahead and fill it in. And this is a little neat trick. You just take some extra yarn that you have and you wrap it around the nautical rope. You can use any color, but it gives a lot of charm and character to the border. You can make things look like a candy cane stripe. I mean, look at that. If that had just been nautical rope, it would have been just so plain. And if you already have a lot of stuff with nautical rope, I mean, it's just another option. I like plain nautical rope too, but I was really having a fun time with doing different designs on my borders. So this worked out really, really well. So for this one, I'm taking the black and white buffalo check ribbon, and I'm going to make 3 smaller floral bows out of them. So I looped them around and around probably about 8 or 9 times, cut them at the end, and because I wrap them around so much, this bow is going to be so full that it's not necessary for me to cut at an angle in the middle there. I usually recommend that if you're going to see the middle of the bow, but you can already see the first one there, how it's done. It's so fluffy. It's like a little flower that you're not going to see the middle. So you can just bend it in half and then cut a slit. Not all the way through, obviously. You want to leave a thin piece of ribbon in the middle there because that's where you're going to be tying. But I like to use twine. I go ahead and tie twine because it's really strong. And then you just take the loops out in opposite direction, twist them, and kind of puff them up. And you get these beautiful, like little flower type bows. I love these. And then I'm taking some of the boxwood greenery and I'm gluing it underneath there. I decide it does need a pop of color, so I do grab some of these little berries here and glue that as well. But I think this came up so pretty. It was a Pinterest inspired craft, but I ended up changing it up so much it becomes your own, doesn't it? But anyway, I take these Dollar Tree snowflakes, put them on there, paint them white, and that's it. I absolutely love this. I had so much fun making these today. I couldn't wait to share them with you all. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share the video, comment. It really does help my video get seen on YouTube, and I appreciate it more than I can say. And until the next one, breathe deep, fret not, and do things that make you happy.